You guys are fantastic.
Good morning. So today's video isn't actually directly about books and reading. It's my first in a series of sort of little chats about my life, really. And this one's all about the menopause because since I was about 44, which is 3 years ago, I've certainly been perimenopausal. In terms of, I've had very erratic periods, so they started becoming every 2 weeks for a while, and then they would maybe I'd go 8 weeks without one, then I'd have one every 2 weeks again. You get the picture. In the last year, it's been that I haven't had many periods at all, which has been great. So I've had like one every 3 or 4 months. But I've noticed lots of other perimenopausal symptoms this year, such as hot flushes and just generally low mood, as well as an increase in anxiety. So I thought I'd share some of the things that I do that I think have helped or are helping me through this period in time. And I'm really interested in what other people have tried as well. So I've been doing yoga for about 3 years now, but I did Pilates for about 5 years before it. So I just find that doing yoga on a Sunday morning for an hour, I find it really resets me, gets me ready for the week. And also I sit at a desk a lot, so it helps me to stretch out. Whether it directly helps with menopause, I don't know, but it is a time or an hour in the week when I get to just sort of be a bit more mindful and slow down. Walking through the valley, they move west, down, coming from a scientific background, of course, I'm always looking for an evidence base for things that I try. And since 2008, I have been taking a herb called Agnus Castus to deal with premenstrual syndrome. In particular, I had painful periods, but also sore breasts, moodiness, all those kind of things. So I've been taking one of these, one a day, since 2008, and since then I don't have painful periods, well certainly not ones that I can't cope with, and generally all my PMT symptoms have been better. I also know Agnus Castus is useful through menopause, so I've carried on taking it. However, it wasn't enough, so another herb that I added in is red clover. Agnus Castus and red clover have a large evidence base. There's been lots of studies done on their effectiveness. Now, red clover is particularly useful for hot flushes, and I was getting these very regularly. They weren't some sort of problem in the daytime. I could almost cope with them in the daytime. They were in a meeting, it was a bit difficult sometimes because when you get hot, your heart beats faster and therefore it makes you feel a bit anxious. But it was nighttime I was really struggling, so midnight, 3 AM and 6 AM, without fail, I was waking up really hot, really awake because my heart was racing, and having thrown all the covers off. My husband said I was a starfish on the bed. Whenever he got up to go to the loo, there was me with no covers on. But then a few minutes later, I would then have to pull the covers on me. So it was really affecting my sleep. I started taking red clover about a month ago now, probably just over a month ago, about 6 weeks ago. And about 2 weeks after starting to take it, the hot flushes stopped, and I haven't had one since. So I highly recommend red clover. I think Agnus Castus, it just supports my hormones. Another thing I do is I have started running 3 times a week, and believe me, I was never really a runner before. I did do it a little bit in my 20s. So I followed the Couch to 5K programme to build up to running for about 30 minutes at a time. And I try and go out 3 times a week, but I don't beat myself up if I don't make it more than twice. But I have really noticed a difference in my mood and the ability to relax on the days that I run. So I really do think it's useful for my mental health. And also I'm not concerned about putting on weight during menopause because the running is keeping everything in check. The other thing I did was I was reading about estrogen levels and the hot flushes that are in response to a lowering of estrogen levels. Red clover mimics or increases estrogen, I'm not sure which, but also soya milk. So I've been drinking my morning coffee with some soya milk and dairy milk that I froth up, because soya milk doesn't froth up very well. So I've been adding soya milk into the mix. I'm not sure whether it's the soya milk or the red clover that's reduced the hot flushes, but I've also found since I've been taking the red clover, that my mood has improved. Having said that, I've just finished studying after 3 years of studying, and I'm wondering if I was just getting bored of studying and that was partly affecting my mood. So I'm not sure whether it's the red clover, the soya milk, or the finishing my studying that's led to my mood improvement, but I certainly feel more myself again. I was feeling like there wasn't a point to anything, you know, when you get that real sadness on you. I do also meditate, but I haven't done loads of that recently. I do find that running is almost replacing my meditation, because you can meditate as you run. Though recently I have started listening to, as this is booktube, I have started listening to Adam B by George Eliot when I'm running on an Audible book, because I was watching someone else's video, Wild Reads, talking about Audible books versus Kindle versus physical books, and it got me thinking, I could listen to some classics while I'm running. But in some ways that's still meditative, because while listening to the story I'm not thinking about work or anything else. So these things seem to have worked for me. I'm still menopausal in the sense that I'm still having periods, so there might be other symptoms that come along that I don't manage as well. I'd be really interested in anyone else, other women, wanting to share what's worked for them. But if you are using something and I'm recommending it, look for the evidence base for it first, because I've heard lots of things about apple cider vinegar, but there's absolutely no evidence out there that that has any effect whatsoever. So let me know things that you're trying and what the evidence base behind them is. I will post some links to the evidence base behind red clover and Agnus Castus. Meta-analyses are very good. These are where a researcher looks at all the evidence there is so far and sums it up. So I think I'm coping pretty well with the menopause. In fact, I even forget a lot of the time that I'm menopausal, so that suggests that what I'm doing is working. But the biggest change, I think, was the red clover. I think that's had the biggest difference. Okay, so thanks for listening to my first life slice. I'm not sure what the next one's going to be about, but you know, give me a thumbs up if you found it interesting, and I will see you again soon. Bye.